They watched from the shadows, watched the people of the world going about their lives, unaware of the insidious gaze that followed. So many candidates to choose from, such potential, but still they hesitated, for this would likely be the last of their contenders, and it would not do to hurry. Hey, hi, how you doing? Hello, it is I, Noah, and welcome back to In Between the Lines. Today we're going to talk about Contender, Book 1, The Chosen by Taran Matharu. This is basically to decide if this book is really worth the hype. Now, this book was released in the UK in 2019, and Taran is mostly known for the book series he's done of The Summoner, which kind of, advertise themselves straight in the book. Obviously, fair dues. So I'm just going to kind of dive into it. With the cover-wise, when I first saw the cover, I instantly, never judge book by covers, but I instantly did that, and I was like, this is going to be just like Dino Crisis. I'm a 90s kid, born in 1990. I grew up with the PlayStation, the SNES and stuff like that. And Dino Crisis is one of them games where I've always had this love for it. I've never really completed it, but I've always had a love for it, and I've always strived for something that I can just kind of put together with that. But yeah, I instantly saw this, and I was like, Dino Crisis, sweet, I'm gonna have a book of it. Or something similar to it. That is a no. So, it is nothing like it. I'm kind of gutted about that, because I was really hyped up about it just by the cover. The cover is pretty badass, though, I have to admit. But yeah, this is a series. This is book number 1. So the story is basically you follow a young man named Cade Carter, who was basically convicted for a crime that they never committed. It was actually their roommate. I was right at the beginning of this book, trust me. No spoilers. He ends up in a school for naughty children, for naughty young adults. And he has to stay there for about a year. Now, these people are full of racists, bullies, all and everything in between. Obviously, there's some people who didn't do anything or wasn't that bad. But he's kind of isolated and alienated from everyone. Around 6 months into his service to the school that he hates, he basically wakes up and he's not in the school. This isn't Kansas anymore, people. It is an unknown destination, time and year. And all we see is this prehistoric sun. Prehistoric? Don't know why I had to say it so weirdly. A prehistoric thing at the bottom of this ledge that he's basically just kind of stuck on. So that's basically the story overall, without going too much into it. So obviously we have our new rating system, which is characters, story / plot, world building, re-readability, and the fun factor. So character wise, we follow Cade Carter, the main dude, the main hero of the story. Obviously with the school we meet quite a lot of people, and when he kind of is on this other place of existence, mildly putting, I don't know how else to describe it without ruining anything, the people from the school, some of the people from school are also there. So he kind of makes a team with Eric, who was kind of like a mute but not really, Scott and Yoshi. Yeah, no, as characters, I wish we knew more about them from the start. At the beginning, it's just, yo, this person's Yoshi, doesn't like to be compared to anything to do with Mario. Also, he has glasses, that sort of thing. Oh, Eric, he's mighty tall and strong. But I want to know more. And yes, later on you do kind of get bits and bobs as you go further in. But that's like nearly halfway in the book. And getting to that point, it felt like it took so long. Like, comparing this to Daughter of Smoke and Bone that I read within like a day, technically, this took me a week to even get through because it just felt like I was slugging through random stuff. Story and plot is actually kind of interesting. The story, as you kind of read through it, like at the beginning, you're like, oh, Hunger Games. This is like a Hunger Games sort of thing, but with dinosaurs. But it's a bit more to that, because there's also parts of history where they're from. So as they're in this new place, they kind of look up and realize maybe they're not on Earth anymore. That there's these bodies of Romans here that shouldn't be here. And further up down the road, there's like Mayan buildings and stuff randomly in this place. And it's just so odd, because at first it doesn't make sense why there's these little bits of history just kind of in this place with dinosaurs all of a sudden. And as you get towards the end, yeah, it kind of makes sense a little bit, but it's such a stretch to get to. God damn it. World building, at first, you don't know anything. You're literally like, he's on a ledge, that's it. Kind of get a bit further in. Oh, this place looks exactly like that with the ledge. And it's like, I want to know more about the world. I want to have more descriptions, because obviously being with a book and world building stuff, you want the descriptions, you want to understand, you want to be able to visualize what they are talking about, what they can see. And that's the best thing about it. But with this, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing until around about 3/4 of the way into the book. I then finally clocked and I was like, okay. And then it did start to talk about a few things more that made me continue reading to get to this point, to basically finish the book. Wish there was more onto that, for real. Re-readability, I'm probably going to give this to my nephew and buy them the series if they like it. I don't think this is a book that I would, well, a series I would continue to read, sadly enough. Even though the ending was kind of like oh, okay. I just don't feel that it's, for me personally, I wouldn't read this again. It was such a slug to get through, even through the beginning bit, because it was jumping backwards and forwards and there wasn't really much of a description of anything going on. Fun factor, I mean, dinosaurs, technically, mutants, pieces of history. I like history stuff. I was a history nerd growing up. The only thing is with this, I mean, the good thing is that it's got a map at the front, which we love. I love stuff when they do that. My main thing with this is when it came to the dinosaur at the thing, this is how it was described. The skin is a rusty brown leather. Oh, a slathering mouth with long needle point of his teeth glistening with saliva. With his eyes, what scared him the most. Twin spheres of obsidian that bulged from its sockets. And that's all you get. What about his legs? What about his arms? How tall is it? How big is it? These don't look like these ones in front. I'm so sad. My rating for this, if I had to, I'd give it a solid 3, because towards the end it got kind of good. Especially with some of the descriptions and a bit of the story. Character-wise, I wasn't fussed about most of it, to be honest. There was a lot that could have been done. It just feels like I had a glass of water and I was really thirsty, and they gave me like a third of the cup and the rest was just empty air. That's personally my own opinion. That's basically what I'm going to compare it to. I would say definitely give it a chance yourself. But for me personally, this is not my thing. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We have a special review coming up soon. It's taken me a while to do it because I've put a lot of effort into it. And obviously I want to... Oh god, I don't know. I appreciate you all coming to watch this. I really do. I'm sorry it took so long. So I apologize for that. My flat's basically fallen apart. I had a huge water leak. Showers broke. Washing machine broke. Managed to get a new washing machine though, so that's all good. If you would like to join our Discord, we have links down below. We also have a link to coffee, which is where you can put money towards buying me a cup of coffee, or putting money towards, let's say, a new shower. Or, you know, books. A new bookshelf would be good, but run out of space pretty fast. With December fastly approaching, it is going to be a mixture of paranormal and romances. If there's anything you would recommend for them genres, definitely slap them down below. I would love to know. But yeah, thank you so much once again. I'm sorry it took so long. Very soon. Be good.